It's Monday morning about 8:30. I'm here at Fox News. I'll be coming on at 10 after 9, talk about the rally I'm having downtown with the Muslim leaders supporting the NYPD. Dr. Jasser will be leading it. I'll be speaking at the press conference at One Police Plaza, which is police headquarters, to support the NYPD. And I'll be going on about a half hour, 40 minutes, and so I'm getting ready, get my brains together. And it should be a good day, really good day to defend the NYPD.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. And Jen.
No, don't worry. Thank you.
I'm doing well, thank you.
I love watching this.
All right. There's been an attack on the U.S. base in Afghanistan that may come up. I just want you to be aware of that. And I'm going to start with Holder's speech later today about Lockheed.
10 o'clock Eastern Time here in New York City. You're attending an event that will show support for what the police commissioner has initiated here in New York, and that is to monitor Muslims and Muslim Americans living in New York City. You'll say it's justified. You'll argue in favor of it. Give us the logic why.
Yeah, I think Commissioner Kelly and the NYPD should get a medal for what they're doing. They're carrying out surveillance in the areas where we expect the next terrorist attack to come from. This is not anti-Muslim, just like when they were going after the mafia, they went to Italian-American communities. When they were going after the Westies, they went to the Irish-American communities. The fact is, the overwhelming majority of Muslims are good people, but the terrorists, 99 out of 100, are going to come from the Muslim community. What Ray Kelly has done is he stopped 13 or 14 attacks already against New York. We're the #1 terrorist target. Terrorism does not stop at the state lines or the city lines. The 1993 attack came from New Jersey. And Ray Kelly does, everything he does is legal, it's constitutional. And I think the New York Times, the Associated Press are disgracing themselves by the slanderous attacks on the NYPD.
Would you expect to double down on this policy? And if so, would you think that would be a better approach?
I would support Ray Kelly doing what he believes has to be done. He has 1,000 police officers working on counterterrorism. New York will never get repaid enough for the work it does. They've stopped the attacks. And I think as far as carrying out surveillance, it's absolutely essential, and to follow terror wherever it comes from.
Peter King, thank you. We'll look for that event coming up in 40 minutes. Appreciate you coming to studio today before that gets underway.
Thanks
Peter King, the congressman from New York State. Martha.
Never mind, go on a break. Clear.
Thank you, sir. This is a great quote from Kelly. Terrorists aren't limited by borders and boundaries. Yeah, we can. Thank you. All right. Catch you up down the road, all right?
Take care, Congressman.
Bye, Martha. Thank you.
See you soon.
Radical, when indeed it's just the other way around.
American Islamic Leadership Coalition. We're a group of patriotic North American Muslims standing here today in support of the NYPD. We're longtime activists, journalists, authors, heads of American Muslim organizations in the U.S. and Canada. Some of you may not have heard of us before because we don't spend our days trying to figure out how to generate grievances against the bravest people in America like the NYPD.
Today, the MSA should rightfully be investigated and seen by the NYPD. If not for America, it is for the Muslims, because we are their main victims, whether it is in Egypt, whether it is in New York, or whether it is in Toronto. The fight is between Islam and Islamism. The fight is not between Islam and America. And we are on the side of the United States of America, its government, its police forces, and those who undermine the NYPD. Trust me, they are the enemies of freedom, liberty. They may not say so, but their hidden message is very clear.
As a New Yorker, I want to make it clear that every time I pray, I thank God for the bravery of our police department and the protection that our NYPD provides for us. It is my distinct honor to introduce the Chairman of the House Committee on Homeland Security, Chairman Peter King of New York.
First of all, it's great to be here. I especially want to thank Shamir. He was a young man who really personifies the American dream. He's from an immigrant family. He's a Muslim American. He's been accepted to all of our service academies. this to me epitomizes what America is all about. So, thank you very much. It's a great honor for me to stand today with these Muslim leaders, all these Muslim leaders who have come here today to personify what I believe is the real face of Islam in America. I want to especially thank Dr. Zuhdi Jasser, the courageous work that he's done over the years. He's a man who has served our nation and our armed forces, a man of great medical experience and ability, but most of all, a person who has really put himself on the line, defending what he believes is true Islam, which is a love for America, the proud respect and love for his own religion. And I, on a personal level, want to thank Dr. Jasser, because when I held the first radicalization hearing last March into the American Muslim community, the very first witness we had at the very first hearing was Dr. Jasser. And that just set the tone. A man with guts, a man with courage, and a man with great insight and knowledge. Now, I am especially proud to stand here today on behalf of the NYPD and Commissioner Ray Kelly. There is no law enforcement agency, there is no one at all in this country that has done more to protect Americans of all religions than the NYPD. It is the foremost counterterrorism force in the United States today. And it is absolutely disgraceful that the New York Times, the Associated Press, other elements of the politically correct media have allowed themselves to be used by groups such as CARE. And I just wish once, as the Council on American Islamic Relations, just once, the New York Times or the Associated Press, instead of calling CARE a Muslim civil rights organization, refer to them as what they are, unindicted co-conspirators in the most major terrorist financing case in the United States. That's what CARE is. And yet, when you read the papers and you read the reports, it's anti-NYPD. The NYPD is not spying. The NYPD is carrying out effective surveillance. If they were not doing what they are doing, to me they would be negligent and they'd be remiss in their duty. This city has been attacked twice, two major attacks. 1993, the attack came from New Jersey. 2001, we know about the 19 hijackers that attacked our city and the Pentagon. Ray Kelly and the NYPD have sworn never ever to allow an attack against this city again. There's been 14 attacks stopped, primarily because of the NYPD. And I can tell you, as chairman of the Homeland Security Committee, as a member of the Intelligence Committee, the only member of Congress who was on both committees, no one is doing more to stop terrorism than the NYPD. What they are doing with their counter-terror force, with their intelligence units, is what all police departments should be doing at all levels of government. And thank God that Ray Kelly is not backing down to the political correct media. Thank God that Ray Kelly and the NYPD are still being aggressive and preemptive. Because it's the job of the police department not to pick up the bodies if the attack has been launched and carried out, but to stop those attacks from happening. And you're not going to stop an attack unless you have intelligence, you get intelligence from within the community. And, you know, it's such political hypocrisy when you think that, for instance, in the years when the government was going after the mafia, they went to the Italian-American community. I'm Irish-American. When they were going after the Westies, they went into the Irish-American community because that's where the threat was coming from. The fact is, the overwhelming majority of Muslim Americans are outstanding Americans, but the threat to our civilization today comes from that small minority within the Muslim American community. And thank God that Ray Kelly is working to make sure that we find out who they are. And thank God we have people like Dr. Jasser and others who will stand with the NYPD, stand for America against radical terrorist Islam, and all of us can stand together as Americans to do all we can to make sure that this city is never attacked again. Let me just say on a personal note, 45 years ago, my father was the NYPD and he trained Ray Kelly. So I'm sure if you asked him who he did a better job of training, me or Ray Kelly, he would say Ray Kelly. Because what he is doing today is really standing up for us, protecting all of us. Thank God. Let's give a medal to Ray Kelly. Let's denounce the New York Times and the Associated Press for what they are, left-wing rumor mongers carrying out the work of looking for offshoots of Al-Qaeda and also looking for lone wolves and operatives in communities who are acting on their own but are inspired by Bin Laden and Al-Aqsa.
NYPD's controversial surveillance of Muslim groups is gaining some support. The department now has the backing of a prominent Muslim American group. News 4's Catherine Craig is live outside One Police Plaza in Lower Manhattan to explain all of this. Catherine?
Yes, it was a pretty big gathering, Tom. A few dozen people were here at One Police Plaza, the NYPD headquarters. You had local Muslim leaders, also Muslims from Canada, and then a high-profile lawmaker. You had Congressman Peter King, and they all had the same message. In the shadow of NYPD headquarters, Congressman Peter King stood shoulder to shoulder with Muslim leaders. They spoke of their unwavering support for the NYPD's surveillance program, which monitors places where Muslims frequent in and outside of New York City.
The NYPD is not spying. The NYPD is carrying out effective surveillance. If they were not doing what they are doing, to me, they would be negligent and they'd be remiss in their duties.
We stand behind transparency in police work. We do not feel that Americans, in no way do we want to be spied on, but this is not about spying. It's about monitoring in public programs.
But opponents of the surveillance program call it spying. There have been recent protests criticizing the NYPD. Some say the surveillance is discriminatory and wrong.
Only a full investigation by New Jersey will find that the NYPD has committed a grave mistake in spying on an entire community solely because of its faith.
Some Muslim leaders in New Jersey over the weekend are calling for a state investigation after the NYPD monitored a mosque in Newark. While some local and state leaders in New Jersey question the NYPD's actions, Muslims at this gathering believe the police department isn't overstepping its bounds.
We are on the side of the United States of America, its government, its police forces.
And some thought there might be a counter protest here at police headquarters. That was not the case. But one person who was here at the gathering said as long as there are protests against the NYPD, they'll have gatherings like this one until further notice. Reporting from police headquarters, Catherine Craig, News 4 New York.
Catherine, thank you.